Okay, this is going to be my premiere episode of Wolves Diary. I'm going to use these Wolves Diaries as a way to catalog, record my emotions, my thoughts, my feelings about the Timberwolves throughout the season. I'm going to play 2K16 while I describe what's recently been going on with the Timberwolves, what I think the Timberwolves need to do, my observations, my thoughts on the NBA in general, as well as recapping some of the previous games of the week, or in this case I'm just going to recap one, which was last night's game, December 28th, 2015, Wolves versus the Spurs. I hope that update required goes away because my internet, for whatever reason, is not really working. And I forgot to see what the minute lengths are for the quarters. Also, yeah, I wanted to edit the lineup to reflect last night's change of Tim Duncan not being in the lineup. He was out with right knee soreness, but since it's Popovich, it was probably just rest. And, yeah, no Pekovic for us because of his surgery. He's still rehabbing. Some pre-game notes that I had. I took notes from last night's game as well as some thoughts in general. Kevin Martin, as of right now, is completely out of the lineup. He's sitting until he gets traded. He talked to the media yesterday, or it might have even been the Sunday game against the Pacers, that he talked to the media saying that both he and the Wolves understood the situation and they were both fine with it, and that he's not going to be disruption. In here I might break down a few possible trade ideas, Bulls, Rockets, just some pie-in-the-sky ideas of what I would like to see in return. Another pregame note, the last time the Spurs and the Wolves met, which was last week, I believe on Wednesday or Thursday, the Spurs and the Wolves played at Target Center. That did not go well for Wiggins. He had a piss-poor game. Kawhi dominated him the entire way.
Great action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and here with me tonight, Greg Anthony.
Man, that update required thing is going to annoy me the whole time.
So the Timberwolves win the tip. All right, let's set the floor.
All right. So I use my starting lineup.
On the court for Minnesota, they've got Ricky Rubio.
Oh no.
Garnett out there with Tayshaun Prince. Then there's Towns, and it's Wiggins in at the shooting guard position.
I used the starting lineup from last night that Sam Mitchell's been using recently since the Kevin Martin news sort of broke that we were looking to move him. That he's using Tayshaun Prince in the lineup. And for whatever reason, last night Prince was guarding Kawhi for most of the time. And I was thinking that it's because he wants to use Andrew Wiggins on offense. Like, he wants to make him the focal point. He doesn't want to burn Wiggins out guarding Kawhi. But like, Kawhi was guarding Wiggins all night.
6 on the shot clock.
He was fine. Oh, jeez.
Shoots a fader.
Oh, that's some cheese.
A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Wiggins was guarding Danny Green for most of the night. But Kawhi was killing us. Oh, man. Boban. What's that guy's name? That is so annoying that that thing's there. Boban Marjanovic killed us. I have his stat line written down somewhere. His stat line as of third quarter, 45 seconds left in the third quarter, he had 17 points on 7 for 7 shooting, and I think he made all of his free throws, I want to say. But I think he took 4, so that means he must have missed 1. But he was just killing us. He was killing Gorgie Jang. He was getting the rebound every time over him. Oh man, he killed us.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Manu Ginobili had a throwback night last night.
Give him a free pass on that one.
And as far as the Timberwolves go, they kept it competitive. Oh no. They kept it way more competitive than they had any right to. In the third quarter, we were trailing only by 1, I think.
4 on the shot clock.
I got my pages all messed up. Yeah, at the first quarter, we were leading 27-26. We were leading at half 52-50. We were trailing 76-72 going into the fourth, and then we lost 95-101. But the first half was strangely competitive, considering that we got blown out the last time we played them, which was only a few days ago. And then the second half was, you just felt it the entire time you were watching it. I mean, I felt it right away in the first half too, that we weren't gonna maintain this sort of level of success.
Up top, Rubio, guarded by Green. Towns with it. He's against Parker, and that one's good. Towns has got his first points of the game.
Okay, one thing that's been bothering me a lot with this Tayshaun Prince in the starting lineup is we have 2 NBA players who can score in the starting lineup, which is atrocious. Ugh, that was bad. I was way under the basket. But we have 2 NBA players who can score. Karl Anthony Towns can score, and Wiggins is so inefficient. But when he gets it in his mind to attack, he can score and he can get fouls called. But he settles for so many ugly jumpers. But our offense is ridiculous. It's centered all around getting Wiggins shots. He puts up like around 15 shots a night. Easily 15 shots a night. Meanwhile, Karl Anthony Towns barely gets any offensive touches that aren't offensive rebounds. Oh no.
Thanks, Doris.
And it's like, like I was saying, we had Tayshaun Prince guarding Kawhi Leonard. I would rather have Wiggins guarding Kawhi Leonard and have Shabazz or Zach LaVine in the starting lineup.
Rubio missing again.
And I know Rubio can't hit those threes, but it's so tempting when he's wide open like that. But doesn't it make sense? Wouldn't you want Zach LaVine and Shabazz Muhammad can't defend a paper bag. But if you have Karl Anthony Towns and Kevin Garnett back there, you have some leeway. You know, Karl Anthony Towns is an amazing rim protector. Kevin Garnett is slow, but he understands defense. He knows how to position himself. And he doesn't allow easy baskets, which is something I appreciate so much about Kevin Garnett, is that he will actually foul players hard in order to make them miss the shot they're going for. He doesn't allow and ones. And so you have Wiggins guard the best player. Oh man. You have Wiggins guard the best player.
The first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time.
Then you have
that the Spurs pulled.
You hide Shabazz or Zach on the weakest player, whether that be the point guard or shooting guard or small forward. I mean, if you have LaVine out there, he's not really going to be able to guard small forwards, but Shabazz can. Well, I say defend in smear quotes, where he doesn't really defend, but I mean, you put a body on the guy so you don't allow him just to run to the hoop every time.
Jang, a screen. Here's Rudez. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
That's how to orchestrate for your
And then
terrific pass.
you give Andrew Wiggins the opportunity
And Mills kicks
to
the
be. I mean, the Timberwolves roster is so hard to
Really been able to work the ball in.
plan around because of the players.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their
The
offense.
players' characters are so different. Character, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like, Andrew Wiggins is passive. He's not aggressive. At the end of games, when he becomes aggressive, you can tell when he's aggressive. At the beginning of games, he's very passive. We have to give... The reason Andrew Wiggins takes so many shots is because we have to get him started. We have to make him get in the attack mode. But when he misses a bunch of shots, I think that just makes it worse. You know?
The interior, they've established their inside presence.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock.
Man,
San Antonio's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. And David West, the bucket on the assist by Mills. West has got 5 points so far.
well, the way we're using Shabazz on the bench right now, where he just spots up at the three-point line, and I get it that he's our best three-point shooter and all, but
Another miss by Minnesota.
he has such an effective post game, and he's so active around the basket on offensive rebounds.
Quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Spurs
People want to get rid of Shabazz Muhammad because we need three-point shooting. I say, let's get rid of Damian Rudej. Let's get rid of Andre Miller. I mean, I really appreciate the fact that Tayshaun Prince and Andre Miller are on this roster this year. But next year, let's get rid of some of these rotation players who can't hit threes. Load up on players who can shoot the three-point shot.
He was hardest on his point guard, Tony.
And then put Shabazz in his natural position. I don't care who starts between Levine and Shabazz. I understand the argument for both.
Tough sometimes.
I would be alright with Levine starting.
A very long time ago now.
I would be alright with Shabazz starting. Doesn't matter which one starts. But we need to get Shabazz into the place where he can be the most effective, comfortable player he can be.
The game made him cry. That's one of the
And honestly, I think Shabazz would benefit greatly. I'm not one of these people who believe in mentoring as a legit aspect of player development. I think that it's helpful. I think that I would rather have it than not have it. You know what I mean? I don't think it hurts to have mentoring. But then again, that Jackie McMullen article on ESPN where she talks about Kevin Garnett being a bit of a dick to players and breaking some, I could see that being a problem. And Shabazz seems kind of emotional.
And it's Duncan in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's who San Antonio starts the second with. Now here's Towns, and he makes no mistake.
But if you put Shabazz on the court with Kevin Garnett's going to get in his face when he fucks up on defense. He's going to bite his head off. And I think Shabazz could use that. Because by all accounts, Shabazz Muhammad is a gym rat. He's always working. He's always in the gym trying to get better. I think that if he gets the proper fucking kick in the ass to really work on his defense, he can get better. It's hard to work on defense in an empty gym, but study the playbook, study the film, work on your fundamentals, try and figure out where you need to be, try and figure out what players do when they're off the ball to try and get some separation, figure out what players set what kind of screens, watch film on how other players can get around those screens, try and adapt those things into practice. Like, that's the kind of dedication that I'd like to see from Shabazz to get better. And I think he could be a legit starter. People say his ceiling is a spark plug off the bench. I could totally see that, but I still think that he could be a legit starter, not an all-star, not a, like, he might be like your fourth best starter in your rotation. And that would be totally fine, because we have Wiggins, and we have Cat. Alright? That's 1 and 2 right there.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Garnett comes in.
Rubio can't score, but he can do so many other things so well that he could be our legit third best player. And then you just throw in a stretch 4, and you got a decent team.
Wolves did struggle in conference as was expected. 7-45 against the rest of the Western Conference.
Listen, nothing harder in sports than learning how to win. And there's no doubt that Minnesota took a lot of lumps as a young team last season. 3 of those
I'm not even really paying attention.
did come against playoff teams. So there's that little silver lining of hope. And, you know, he might want to think about deferring for a while. He's had his chances this quarter, but just not able to convert.
Here's Towns. It's good, and he drew contact.
Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be an amazing player. He's going to be Hall of Fame, I guarantee it. Listen to me, Mr. Never played a second of really competitive basketball, and I'm saying who's going to be a Hall of Famer, who isn't going to be.
Tayshaun Prince has checked in for Minnesota. Guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Timberwolves?
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to.
But Karl-Anthony Towns can defend. He can hit jump shots. He has finesse in the post. He has power game. He has the passing.
And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
He has insane ball instinct where he knows how the ball is going to move, where it's going to go. He's only 20 years old.
Yeah, he did. I tell you what, though, great dunk, and this is even a better game.
And he's putting up 20 and 10s like nobody's business against legit competition. I'm saying legit a lot, aren't I? But really, I'm so excited about Karl-Anthony Towns. Wiggins, I'm glad we have him. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy his game when he's on, but when he's off, he's really frustrating to watch. See, look at how far off he is. Isn't that just tempting just to pull up and take the shot?
Green with the rebound. Spurs have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Wiggins against Parker. Duncan outside. 6 to shoot. On the wing, Green. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist. And the
Let's see what else I have here with my notes. Okay, yeah. When Wiggins comes off the screen, gets the ball, he loses the handle way more often than he should. But when he does, and he understands that he can't score, he is pretty good at passing from under the hoop. Like, surprisingly good. It makes me wonder why he doesn't pass more. I understand that in the starting rotation, he only has Cat he can really pass it to, who can hit a shot. Kevin Garnett can hit a wide open, like 18-foot jumper. You know, woohoo. He's usually in position for a defense or an offensive rebound when Wiggins goes in, so we can't really pass it up there. Tayshaun Prince, Tayshaun Prince is the master at 1 foot inside the three-point line and making it look good. But what if you're already by the rim? Just put it up. If you're gonna shoot that far out from 2, but it makes me wonder what he would do like, or what he would be like with Shabazz or Levine in there, where he could pass it to a cutter, he could pass it to someone posted up in the three-point corner. Like, he's a good passer. He makes some good passes. I'd like to see him pass more. Yeah, I already mentioned how Prince was guarding Kawhi and why I don't understand that. Man, in and out, in and out. Yeah, it must be for preserving his energy so that he can be offensive.
They've just picked them apart.
He can have the energy for the offensive game.
Misses from short range.
What kind of lineup is this? Bielitsa?
When he's on his way to the basket.
Wow.
On that one, they were there.
Now here is Miller. Garnett with the screen for Miller. Garnett up top from 20 feet out. Second chance shot.
Yeah, Bielitsa. He's been way off. At the beginning of the season, he played very well. Recently, like the past 2 weeks, he's barely getting playing time. Adrian Payne is playing more than he is.
They haven't had to do much work on the
Sam Mitchell. Okay, at this point, let's just give up on the playoffs. Alright, we should have never been shooting for the playoffs to begin with. But let's just give up on them now.
And there's the feed to Muhammad. Good on the triple. Muhammad's got his first bucket.
We don't need... We need to find out what we have in Bielitsa. I get that Payne needs some time to figure out what's going on. But let's cut out some Tayshaun Prince minutes. Let's cut out some Kevin Garnett minutes. And let's give Bielitsa the chance to get himself out of the funk.
those 3 points back.
Trading spray guns from long range.
I'm assuming that he must be like... He must just be part of the trade package that we're going to give up to Kevin Martin, because it's very surprising how little we're playing him.
Sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Heads up action there. Reading the play and then to the spot.
The Rubio-Levine connection is starting to happen a lot more. I noticed that Sam Mitchell used one of his first substitutions, of course, was getting Kevin Garnett out, but the next one was getting Tayshaun Prince out and putting Zach LaVine in at the 2 with Rubio running the point.
And it comes off the front of the rim.
We need to do that a lot more.
Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Now the dish to Muhammad. Here's Levine. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And now Tyus Jones is playing more too, which is exciting. I really liked Andre Miller. I really hope that he could have played a little bit more and really gotten our second unit in order, ran some plays, because the second unit is a nightmare to watch, to say the least. Like, holy shit. It's just, there's no ball movement, there's no running off of screens, there's no pin down action, there's no strategy involved. There's no scheme. Scheme is the word I'm looking for. There's no scheme going on. It's just a bunch of people standing around clapping their hands, setting a screen, and then trying to post up right away. It's very hard to watch. That's why I hoped Andre Miller would play more, sort of get these players used to running sets, because right now it just looks like a nightmare. I don't think they're learning anything. I think they're learning way more bad habits than good habits.
It's called a charity strike for a reason. They haven't shown they want it. Me too. I like charity.
Oh yeah, another question
They might have a hard time in the second half.
that I was watching. The Spurs fans were surprisingly quiet, and there was a lot of empty seats.
In fact, they seem to.
Do the Spurs fans understand how lucky they are to have such a high quality organization?
Your family, your friends, your fans.
They've had
Okay, wait. I just said,
18 years of Tim Duncan, 19 years.
Okay, let's go to the next thing. Let's go.
Greg Popovich is an amazing coach. He turns these fringe rotation players into amazing cog pieces that, like Boban Marjanovic or whatever his name is. What the hell, is he the new Thiago Splitter? Is he just a bigger, slower Thiago Splitter?
So far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
Kyle Anderson, he's a perfect Spurs player. I wanted him for the Wolves, and then I thought about it last night. What would he do on the Wolves? He would be completely useless for us.
Was just perfect.
I agree.
Patty Mills, Boris Diaw. Remember when Boris Diaw was on the Bobcats? He was an utter nightmare. Like, that guy was garbage. He goes to the Spurs, all of a sudden he's like a championship piece. The Spurs fans, I just wish that they could understand what it's like to be a Timberwolves fan, to just see constant failure over and over and over again. Have the promise of Wesley Johnson, Randy Foye, Derek Williams, Michael Beasley, Darko Milicic, all these people who you think, oh man, maybe we have a core now. just turned to utter shit. And now we have, like, again, we have an amazing core. What if we perceive to be an amazing core? What if they're just garbage? It would just crush me if Wiggins or Towns didn't turn out to be the player that they could be. Even half the player they could be. It would be devastating. Shabazz Muhammad, Zach LaVine, Tyus Jones, Gorgie Jang, Adrian Payne, all those guys are question marks. They're all inconsequential to whether or not Towns or Levine pan out. I don't give a shit about any of those people. As long as Wiggins and Towns can do even half of what they promised to be able to do.
It won't be too much longer.
Both of these guys could be amazing two-way players. Amazing. They could be all NBA defense, and they could be scoring leaders for their position.
Is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt.
Yeah, such a sweet three-point stroke there, and it can really open things up inside because as good as he shoots it, it forces the opposing bigs to have to step out on the perimeter. And as you mentioned, the Wolves could be back in the playoffs.
In the second quarter, LaVine and Rubio were paired up again, and I saw something that made me smile. Zach LaVine was running out in transition with Ricky Rubio at about 7 minutes in the second quarter. One thing that's really annoying to me that I always see is Rubio will get a steal, he'll run out in transition, and Wiggins and Prince will slope up the floor. I want to see you cut to the basket. Rubio can make the pass, Andrew. Rubio can make the pass that make you look like an utter superstar. I keep saying utter now. To make you look like a superstar. You know, you're going to be on all the highlight reels with the slam dunk that Ricky Rubio's going to throw to you. Just go get it. Come on. Like Zach LaVine went and got it. He was sprinting out there. It wasn't an alley-oop or anything, but it was a nice pass and a solid layup. That's all you need to do. Andrew Wiggins could get at least 4 or 6 points a game just doing that. I don't understand why he doesn't.
And if you're going to play point guard for him, you've got to deliver consistently.
Now here's Wiggins. He has 7.
And talking about Tony Parker.
Can we talk about something for a second, San Antonio Spurs fans?
Tony eventually became incredibly consistent.
Whoever you're in arena, man, Wiggins is so bad at free throws, so bad. Whoever is the Spurs in-house DJ, whoever controls the sound system is a trash human being. Either that or they're someone's grandpa. Because the music that they're playing all throughout the game, really loud, really loudly. All that music was just garbage.
That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins.
Me and my girlfriend were talking about it. We're like, why would you play this during a basketball game? They were doing it every single possession. They'd turn on a song, let it play for the entirety of a possession, then turn the song off and go defense or let's go Spurs.
And I'm not talking about his body type.
Or the grill.
Yeah, you know, I'll play.
One thing that I wish that I would have been able to see is just a basketball game with no music blaring throughout the entire thing.
Here's Leonard. And it's Leonard.
I think that would be very enjoyable. Just hearing players yell out on the court, the sneakers squeak, the coaches yelling at the refs and stuff. I think that would be so much fun. Instead, we just have like super loud music blaring the entire time. Oh, come on.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Once again off the mark by San Antonio. The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 5.
Popovich got ejected from last night's game, which I thought was surprising. I don't know what really spurred it on. but he really got heated.
Garnett with the screen on Parker. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. Drains it from beyond
He
the
got
arc.
teed up and then got double
Wiggins has
teed
got 10.
within like
Point shooting since the
a minute.
has been about as good as you could ask for.
And now's the time for
Oh, what? Tony Parker from 3? Give me a break.
keep letting it fly from deep and build that lead. Play
I had one
Not too-
oh
keep the
moment
pressure
where I literally yelled
Minnesota calls
and
timeout.
stood up on my couch.
In addition to going over the game
Was
plan,
third quarter, 7 minutes 30 seconds. Ricky Rubio to Towns dunk.
for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time.
Towns really got up there.
A basketball still to be played here, and they have to get
Wiggins started coming alive in the third quarter,
Proper hydration up
but he could never hit a pair of free throws. He
down the stretch
is
of
very
the
bad
game.
free throw shooter all of a sudden. Like,
These guys can
I don't know
afford
if it's
to
just
have
in his
that.
head
If you're going to battle
or what, but he cannot hit a pair of free throws. He'll hit one, miss the other one, or he'll miss both of them. It's ridiculous.
David West, he's checked in for Duncan.
3 minutes 6 seconds. Tayshaun Prince had a wide open 3-point shot.
Always checked in for Daniel Green.
Third quarter, 6 minutes.
Here's Levine.
He had a wide open 3-point shot. Took one step in, drained it. Why not just go for the 3? Even if you miss it, it's. I'd rather you miss it than keep on taking these stupid long 2s. You know,
bucket there.
if you miss.
Solid in transition.
Well, you know,
Okay,
he loves the
so if
chance
you
to
make
get out and run,
3 of
and
these
you can see
shots,
right there why he does.
you get 6 points.
And you know, guys, Manu Ginobili's relationship
How many of
with
those-
Greg Popovich has been really interesting over the years. In the beginning,
Oops.
Pop obviously had a rigid system.
So you take 10
Ginoble
shots.
Played with a lot more freestyle and free-wheeling nature. The two clashed
You
heavily
miss.
early on, as one might expect.
Yeah, I love.
I
the
can't do math
communication
while I'm
and the chemistry
talking.
between
I'm
those
sorry,
teammates.
but I don't know. Do you get what I mean? If you miss more 3-point shots
Jang
out of 10,
inside. West is there.
does I'm sorry.
Spin off the left rim.
Math isn't my strong suit, and I'm trying to explain it while I'm talking, or while I'm playing a game, while also trying to talk.
Mills kicks to Leonard.
It's just not working out.
And again, it's the Spurs.
He was way out there.
And he found a perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
The Timberwolves have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. Levine. Stolen by Anderson. And again, San Antonio running the court in transition. The fast break.
Starting to get away from me.
With the jam.
And that's
But
a
this,
classic 1-2 punch right
I'm
there.
just playing it just because,
Up the elevation, Kevin.
I don't know, it could be kind of a cool thing, I guess.
Quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Kawhi Leonard is so good. Like, that guy quietly became
Shooting here in the third quarter.
an all-star. Like, top tier, top 10 player in the league.
9 seconds left to play.
Amazing player. He is what I'm hoping Wiggins can be one day. But we don't have the coaching, we don't have the system that Kawhi Leonard grew up in.
Off the pick.
You know?
Rebound by Bio.
Kawhi Leonard had Popovich his entire career. He had Tim Duncan his entire career. Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. He had so much stability.
Jang is
Andrew Wiggins, well, just think about Shabazz Muhammad.
Levine.
Oh man, that's terrible. Shabazz Muhammad has had 3 different coaches
Through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch.
in 3 different years.
San
You
Antonio
know?
up 8.
That's not stability, even if they're within
TNT Center in
a
San
similar
Antonio.
system,
We're
like
watching
Sam Mitchell and
PK
Flip
Sports.
Saunders. It's not stability having a different guy controlling your minutes every year. And I certainly hope that we're going to be getting a new coach next year. So that'll be 4 in 4 years. Wiggins will have 3 different coaches in 3 years. You can't expect players to get better by leaps and bounds with all these changes happening every year, you know?
Timberwolves trail by 8. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Aldridge out there with Duncan. And it's Ginobili in at the small forward spot. That's the San Antonio 5. 18 feet out. And good. He nails it.
Yeah, Gorgie is surprisingly good at those
Up on the board
18-foot
here in
jump
the fourth
shots.
For Minnesota. Spurs shooting 53% from the
There were rumors that he was going to be able to stretch his game out to the three-point line, but I don't think our coaches really encourage our big guys to take threes because
elbow shot is on the way. And
they just don't seem to want to adapt to the modern NBA with three-point shot.
defense is going to give it to them. They'll take.
I heard some amazing stat from the Celtic game last week that the Celtics made as many three-point shots as we attempted. Think about that.
The deeper we get into this game, it seems like the more the offenses are in rhythm.
Without question. I mean, both of these teams are firing on full broadband bandwidth. I mean,
Just think how much easier it would be for Andrew Wiggins to score if there weren't people clogging the paint. If we put Cat, you're gonna give up rebounds, but at least you're gonna remove a big body and you're gonna let wiry, athletic Andrew Wiggins have more room to operate with one of the big guys out at the three-point line.
Inside, here's Towns, and a strong finish with two hands.
now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
Oh yeah, I made a pilot episode of Wolves Diary just for myself, just to see if I could maintain a conversation throughout 40-50 minutes of me playing a game, and it worked out fine. But I was also describing how I don't really run sets. I don't really run, which is ironic that I was just complaining about that, but it's a video game, so who cares? But I just never bothered to learn how to do all that, which is kind of sad considering the amount of time I put into these NBA 2K games.
Hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. His advice clear cut. I want to see you playing to win, not playing not to lose.
But I'm pretty decent at it. I usually play at All-Star. I'm not sure what this game's set at. This is just set at Pro, so that's kind of sad. But then again, I'm using the vanilla Timberwolves team. I usually do fantasy drafts.
Tough things can be there.
Yeah, and with about 3 weeks left in the season,
Oh.
we're sitting in the 7th playoff spot. Then they go on a tear and win 11 games in a row to jump to number 2. Finally lose one game, and they're all the way back to 6.
Now here's Wiggins. Well, the Spurs, Greg, great at home last year. That's not surprising to anyone who's paid attention. We expect that. They're just so tough at home, year in and year out.
And Kevin, how about going 33-8 at home?
Come on.
And despite being a 6th seed, only the Hawks and Warriors, the two best records in the league, won more games at home. Hard to imagine you could be a 6th seed with that kind of success.
Yeah, I'm floating way too much on defense.
Tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing.
Time to just go to Cat and Wiggins like our team does.
Kicks it out to Rubio. Nailed from three-point land.
For the Spurs, it was all about being at home. That was a big part of how they went on the run. They won 20 of the last 22 games at home in that stretch, which vaulted.
I took a dump in the third quarter, so I missed like a good 3 or 4 minutes of gameplay, so I can't comment on that time.
Garnett, the screen. Prince, that's for 2.
Oh, that was a long 2. That should have went in. Prince makes long 2s.
And the Spurs at home are so great.
Yeah, we didn't see Bielitsa until
Second in field goal percentage at home, shooting 49%.
we didn't see Bielitsa until the beginning of the 4th period,
At home with over 39%.
which is kind of ridiculous. Also, in the 4th quarter, I sort of lost focus because Mario Maker Mornings by Patrick Klepek was on. He was streaming live last night, and I kind of wanted to watch that. So my attention was divided, so I didn't really see a lot. But Zach LaVine was attacking at the end of the 4th quarter, trying to get us back in it, and I really enjoy watching him just go at the hoop with reckless abandon. But all in all, yeah, it was way closer than I thought it would be. I was kind of happy. I mean, that's the kind of thing you want to see. You want to see the youngsters and our team battle a top-tier team like the Spurs throughout the entire game. And to be honest, you get the loss. I don't want to instill a losing culture in our players. But let's be honest here, we could use one more. We could use one more draft pick. Just one more. That's all we need. One more, like 7th, 6th, 8th pick.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well executed.
Maybe a 3-point specialist like a Doug McDermott type.
Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go.
Or you take that pick and you trade it along with Gorgie Jang or Spaz Muhammad or something for a player who can for a player who can come in and contribute right away. Man.
Come on now, young.
Alright, I might as well try and talk about some Kevin Martin trades before the game ends. So, the tricky thing about Kevin Martin is that he's having a shitty year, an insanely shitty year.
It's off target. He is 4 of 9 from the field. For San Antonio, they've gone
so his value sort of cratered right away. And you'll be lucky if you can get a late first round pick. Like, you'll be lucky if you can get pick 30 for him. But if a team doesn't want to, oh man, if a team doesn't want to just absorb his salary and they want to get rid of a contract that's sort of similar and that they don't have a lot of space for, or they don't have a lot of playing time for, you look at the Bulls, you look at Chicago, and you could easily make a case for Taj Gibson coming over for Kevin Martin, and almost a straight up deal.
Shot clock at 6. Fades and shoots, and it's sent back by Aldridge. And Towns gets it to go.
I don't really want Joakim Noah because
so it's San Antonio with it.
Because he isn't going to stay here.
40 seconds left to play.
He's going to cost too much money, and he gets hurt a lot, you know? There's no real point of trying to keep him on a team. Think about the Rockets. The Rockets might just want to dump some players. Maybe they don't want Terrence Jones anymore. They want to give up Terrence Jones. I don't know why they would. Maybe they do. Donatas Motiejunas. Those are just pie in the sky ideas. I'd love either of those guys. That's too much for Kevin Martin. You probably have to give up Shabazz or Gorgie for one of those guys.
To seal the deal.
Yeah, and now let's just keep an eye on how much longer they keep.
Sacramento Kings, it's been floated out by some people, Darren Collison or Ben McLemore. You never know with the Kings. They're a weird team. They might give up Ben McLemore for Martin. I would love it.
Well, you know, it makes a big difference.
I would love it. That would be awesome. I don't think they'll do it. But I will settle for trading them to the Sixers, to the Blazers, to whoever. Just send them into cap space and try and get some pick compensation back for them. Like two second round picks protected within the top, top 40 picks. I'd love it. Okay, some other notes. Yeah, gotta find a way to get Boz and Belly more minutes. I already mentioned that. Adrian Payne had a decent game, but he's just such a buffoon out there. He plays with reckless abandon. He seems dangerous, honestly. Yeah, Wiggins remains an enigma. You never know what games you're going to get from him. Sometimes he shows out in amazing ways. Other times he just isn't there. Yeah, free throws ended up biting us in the ass. We missed a ton of free throws. I'm going to put the box score in the video notes or the description. You'll be able to see exactly what our free throw numbers were, but just terrible. Yeah, so that's episode 1 of Wolves Diary. I, of course, lost, but it's only going to get better from here. This was sort of not really a pilot, but kind of a pilot. We'll see what's going on. Maybe next week I'll do another one of these. I'm also planning on doing a UFC diary, which I hope to get out within a couple days, previewing 195, as well as maybe previewing the Risen event with Fedor, or even doing a recap. Maybe I'll do it on Friday, since I have the day off for New Year's. But yeah, yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I plan to do more of these. I hope I sort of captured what the Timberwolves situation is right now, and sort of what their situation is, what my opinions are, and hopefully I'll watch this back in a year and I'll just smile at how bad we were and be so happy about how good we are now. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.